I sat at the bottom of my staircase, soaked and shaking. Every shadow looked like a Martian tripod. Every creak felt like the house shifting under the weight of something monstrous. I must have dozed off half asleep, half in shock, because when I next stirred, there was light dawn, pale and gray, leaking through the curtains. The storm had passed, but the air still felt thick with ash and tension. I stood up slowly. Every joint ached. My clothes were clammy against my skin, but I needed to see. I went to the front door, undid the bolts, and cautiously stepped outside. The street was empty. No smoke, no screaming, no machines. Just silence. But it wasn't peace. It was aftermath. The storm had washed away the top layer of the world. Sand had been dragged down the hill, and there were branches, tiles, and trash strewn across the road. The wind had stripped the leaves from the trees. Everything looked bruised. I crossed the road and crept into a neighbor's garden. From there I could get a better view of the common. The house was empty, door hanging open, curtains fluttering. Whoever had lived there was long gone. I climbed the stairs and found a front-facing window. Carefully I inched it open and peered out. The view that met me didn't make sense at first. It was like someone had scraped a giant scar across the landscape. In the distance, I could see the crater blackened, scorched, rimmed in ash. The pit where the cylinder had landed was now a makeshift fortress, crawling with metal and steam. A kind of hooded machine, smaller than the tripods, but still massive. They moved along a rail-like path around the crater. It looked like a mechanical beetle crossed with a gun carriage. Beside it were towering structures, tripods, standing still as statues like sentinels keeping watch, and between them, machinery pulsed. Pistons moved, arms shifted, steam hissed. It was a Martian workshop. They weren't just attacking, they were building. And something about that realization made my stomach turn. Suddenly, one of the tripods stirred. Its head swiveled slightly, scanning, listening. Then it began to move slow, rhythmic steps echoing across the field. I ducked beneath the windowsill instinctively, heart pounding. It didn't see me, not yet. I stayed low, peeking just enough to watch. Far off, a human figure ran across the field, a tiny blur beneath that monstrous machine. The tripod turned, aimed, and there was a flash. The figure vanished. No scream, no struggle, just gone. My hands trembled, let go of the window and slumped against the wall. What were we supposed to do against that? I wanted to get back to Leatherhead, to my wife, to safety. But the roads were gone. And between me and her stood an army of machines that could vaporize a man with a glance. Still, I had to try. The Martians weren't just surviving, they were evolving. In the next episode of The Martian War, the narrator searches for an escape, but instead meets a man of the cloth, and witnesses the power of faith in a world losing its mind. Subscribe now to follow every step of the invasion. Episode 12. What I saw of the destruction of Weybridge and Shepperton is coming soon. And it's not just machines we need to fear. It's panic itself.